if you are looking for some support for current affairs, if you are a fresher, you are a working professional, you are a repeater, but you want some support for current affairs, then I have a program for you. I have given the brochure and also the announcement video link in the description. You can watch if you are interested. Hello all, welcome back to Current Affairs Hitlist series. I am Guna Mathivanan from Offices IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about payment bank. See, when Raghuram Rajan was the governor of RBI, he appointed a committee under the chairmanship of Mr. Nachiket Moore. So, when Raghuram Rajan was the RBI governor, he appointed a commission under the chairmanship of Nachiket Moore. So, the idea of Raghuram Rajan is to improve financial inclusion. To improve financial inclusion. See, the basic banking activities should be utilized by everyone in the country. If everyone is utilizing it, then we will say it is financial inclusion. So in 2013, he appointed this commission, Nachiket Moore Commission. So what Raghuram Rajan felt is, why don't we increase the licenses for prepaid instruments? Why don't we increase the licenses for prepaid instruments? See, we discussed about prepaid instruments already in the previous classes. I explained. Okay, we saw two types of prepaid instruments. One is the small prepaid instrument, another one is the full prepaid instrument. We discussed about examples, Metro card, right? Amazon wallet, the prepaid instrument. So, Raghuram Rajan thought we will expand the scope of prepaid instruments. Prepaid instruments is easy to purchase, right? So, going and opening a bank account might look little difficult. Particularly think about migrant laborers. Guna is a migrant laborer. He goes to Manipur for work. In Manipur, he is working in a construction site. He is earning daily wages. Now he wants to transfer his daily earnings to his family. The only way to transfer money is through banking. So when there is no bank account, remittance transfers will become difficult. So, to help the migrant laborers, to help the people working in unorganized sectors, we need a easy way through which they are able to use the remittance services. They are able to deposit some small money. See, regular bank, you think about a migrant labor, think about a pani puri seller, think about who sells flowers in the streets, think about a vegetable vendor in the streets. Now, for their banking activities, they need a bank account. But because of various reasons, people were not opening bank accounts. Financial inclusion was not proper. Because to open a bank account only, you need a lot of documents. A lot of people, they were not having the bank accounts. But later, however, today the situation is different. Because after the government's effort to Jandan Yojana, government has a target of ensuring that everyone is having a bank account. So efforts were taken, but I'm talking about the before stage. Raghuram Rajan thought we need to have an instrument where everyone, particularly the underserved sections like migrant laborers, unorganized workers, street vendors, for them we need to create a formal setup where they can deposit money, where they can transfer money. Right. So the idea of Raghuram Rajan was to enable low value, high volume transactions. So enable low value, high volume transactions. A migrant laborer, Guna, I am earning 200 rupees per day. I am sending 120 rupees to my family. It's a low value. Now think about all the migrant laborers, street vendors who are transferring small value, low value, but the volume will be high. Enable that transactions for which we need a setup. He thought prepaid instruments could be an opportunity. So he appointed a commission under the chairmanship of Nachiket Moore to consider the possibilities of expanding the licenses for prepaid instruments. But however, Nachiket Moore said, let us not expand the scope of prepaid instruments. Rather, we will come up with something called as payment bank. Let's come up with something called as payment bank. right? So if you see this prepaid instruments in payment bank, there will be lot of similarities. Okay, so prepaid instruments, where do you get? You maybe example railway metro card is a prepaid instrument, or your Ola wallet or your Amazon wallet. All these are prepaid instruments. You put money in advance and then you use it. Now, these prepaid instruments, do they have any physical infrastructure? Do they have any physical setup? Do you have any metro bank? Do you have any Amazon bank? Nothing. But you deposit money in that prepaid instrument, you withdraw money, you transfer money, you're doing it right. Likewise, payment bank will not have any physical infrastructure. They make use of facilities like applications, web portals. Payment banks will not be having any physical infrastructure, something like prepaid instrument only. But however, prepaid instruments is not a bank. Payment bank, though it is operationalized through applications, websites, or they can have some physical infra, but that will not be exclusively for bank. That will not be exclusively for bank. For example, Airtel Payment Bank. You do not see any Airtel Payment Bank as a separate institution. You do not see an Airtel Payment Bank as a separate institution. Rather, the Airtel offices will be helping for banking activities. So such kind of physical infrastructure you can see. India Post Payment Bank. There is no separate payment bank for India Post, but the post offices will act like banks. Are you able to understand? So the payment bank, they make use of the technology. They make use of the technological advantage and they operate. No exclusive infrastructure, but existing infra they can use. Right? But this payment bank will act like a full-fledged bank, not like a prepaid instrument. Prepaid instrument cannot be called as a bank, but payment bank can be called as a bank. Right? RBI will be regulating. They have to maintain CRR, SLR. So when this payment bank is like a regular bank, then what is the difference, sir? When the payment bank is like a regular bank, what is the difference? How it is different from the regular banks like IOB? The difference is the payment bank can accept only demand deposits. That means you open an account in payment bank, you can open only demand deposits. But if it is IOB, demand deposits, time deposits. That means in payment bank, you can start current account and savings account. You cannot start time fixed deposit. Recurring deposit you cannot do. Next difference is this payment bank, you can deposit not more than 2 lakh rupees. An individual can deposit only 2 lakh rupees. There is no such restrictions in the regular bank. In payment banks, NRI cannot deposit. NRI cannot deposit, but in IOB there is no such restrictions. Payment banks, they cannot give loan. Remember, they cannot give loan. There is no restrictions in IOB such that payment bank cannot give loan. This payment bank, whatever deposit they have accepted, whatever money they have accepted, 75% of their money they have to invest in government securities, which is having a maturity period of less than 1 year. 75% of the money which payment banks has, that has to be invested in government securities of less than 1 year. Minimum 100% if they want they can. The remaining 25% they can deposit in other banks. But payment banks, if they want, they can invest entire 100% also in the government security, no problem. But the condition is minimum 75% invest in government securities. There is no such conditions on IOB like that. Right? Payment banks can issue debit card. They can issue debit card, but they cannot issue credit card. They cannot issue credit card. Debit card they can give, credit card they cannot give. But IOB, there is no such restrictions. Debit card and credit card, both they can give. Then, sir, why do we need a payment bank only? Only 2 lakh rupees you can deposit. Only 2 lakh rupees you can deposit, yes. Only demand deposit is allowed. Okay. They cannot give loan. They cannot give loan. Then why payment bank? The objective is to have a easy infrastructure for remittances, to help the migrant laborers, to help the street vendors, to easily save some money. They can this will help in sending remittances, that is money transfers. To enable that only, to exclusively enable that migrant laborers, street vendors, unorganized sector entities, for them, they need a setup for transferring money to save some small amount, to enable low value, high volume transaction. Now, opening a payment bank account is very easy. It is not like a traditional process, right? You go to post office, you go to Airtel office only, just like that in few seconds or few minutes maybe, payment bank can be opened, right? I hope you got clarity on how payment bank works.